Hi everyone, my name is Melissa van Dijk, and in today's video I want to talk about whether exercise really helps with acne breakouts. It's something you hear all the time, or it pops up when you search online or even ask an AI. But based on what I've seen in my own experience, I can't personally confirm that. After more than 15 months of consistently monitoring my skin and lifestyle, I can say that I wasn't really exercising or moving much at all. And yet I've been able to keep my acne under control. That might go against what many people believe. But I want to share a few observations and possible explanations so you can reflect and decide for yourself. To start with, I would like to talk about what I've actually observed during this time, because it became increasingly clear that breakouts were closely linked to internal and external irritants. This includes the food I was eating, the environment I was exposed to, and the products I was using, both in my surroundings and on my skin or hair. To keep it simple and without repeating too much from other videos, what I noticed was this. When the harmful buildup from what I was eating or drinking became too much for my body to handle, it seemed to push some of it out through the skin, which then reacted with inflammation. At the same time, external factors like the environment I was in or the personal care products I was using were also triggering inflammation on the surface, just in a different way. And that's what showed up as breakouts. So from that perspective, the idea that exercise alone would improve skin doesn't really make sense. In fact, under certain conditions, which I think are very common for many people, it can actually make things worse. And one situation where this seemed to matter is when you exercise shortly after eating. If your meal was heavy, with a lot of unhealthy fats, some alcohol, or processed foods that aren't very clean, your digestive and detox systems, including your liver, kidneys, and pancreas, are already working so hard to deal with all of that. You might even add a healthy fruit smoothie or juice on top, but since that's full of fructose, which is especially tough on the liver, it just adds more pressure. I mean, you get the idea. These meals are putting a very heavy burden on your system. And if you start exercising right after that, your body shifts its focus to your muscles instead of your digestion and detox. That can slow things down, and on top of that, stress hormones go up, not down, like it's often suggested, which in turn can increase inflammation instead of reducing it. Now, the next point I wanted to make is about how some of these claims are understood, especially those studies often referenced in fitness spaces or by these health gurus saying that athletes or generally active people have fewer breakouts. That might be true, at least on the surface, but it's worth asking, what is that correlation really telling us? Because when I step back and compare it with my own experience, my data, and what I've actually seen firsthand, one thing stands out. People who exercise more are usually out of the house more, whether that's going for a run, heading to the gym, or just spending time outside in general. But when you don't move around much, chances are you're spending most of your time in the same room, sitting a lot, breathing in indoor air without even opening a window, surrounded by dust, screens, and grabbing whatever is quick to eat. And to me, that's exactly the kind of environment that sets you up for skin issues. So it's not the exercise that's making the skin better, it's just that being out of your usual environment means you're not exposed to the same stuff that was causing the problem in the first place. And in that sense, exercise is not the cure or the treatment, it's the carrier. It brings people into better environments, fresher air, natural light, and less bad food. And that alone can make a big difference when it comes to inflammation and breakouts. Now, to summarize again, the real issue lies in the food you eat and the environment you spend most of your time in, not in whether you're exercising enough or even at all. So if your body is struggling to get rid of toxins efficiently, whether from your diet, surroundings, or internal overload, what it needs most is rest, calm, and space to recover. And it needs care, even love, to truly thrive. That's why if you're already under stress, sometimes doing less or even nothing at all is exactly what gives your body the space it needs to reset and start healing. Alright, I will wrap it up right here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.